My question is on the registration. Throughout history, registration in countries have led to confiscation, which has led to some sort of genocide. Aside from Europe, Australia, and now our neighbors up north in Canada. What can you say to me and all of these gun owners here that your registration of our firearms, our law-abiding guns, what can you say that whether it's your generation or the generations that succeed you, that something is not going to happen along these lines of what has continually happened in the past with gun registrations?
I can't speak for the future, but for now, I don't think will happen. I would fight as hard as I possibly could to stop it. I think anybody up there would. I just don't see it happening. I know that's your fear, but I don't believe it's going to happen. I just don't in our country.
That was the same thing that was said. It was the same sort of fear tactics that was said throughout these other countries recently in Europe
but that's
and
my
Australia.
opinion. I'm just saying
I mean, it's the same rhetoric that
right.
I had read was produced from their legal stance.
But me personally, would do everything in my power to fight it. It's not rhetoric. That's how I feel, and it's definitely unconstitutional.
So let me say that your handguns are already registered. So the only thing you're registering under this bill is those that are considered assault weapons. Your long guns are not registered under this bill. You don't have to register your long guns. So if you have long guns, and you got a permit to have long guns.
Registration is registration. I mean,
But you don't have it for long guns.
Right now, before we didn't have registration at all. Before that, we didn't have an assault ban. You guys have been slowly picking away at this since the 20s, whether it's your generation or generations before you. What is going to stop the continued pick away to where, I mean, they're already confiscating firearms in New York State. There was just an article I had read where they had got the wrong man, and the guy had legally come down and brought his firearms in, and they said, "Oh, sorry, we're the state. We keep our records. We're all messed up." Why is that not going to happen here with this registration?
I hear what you're saying. The only thing I just have to say is that your guns have always been registered. That's never changed. So that is what it is, right? So the only thing that's being registered are those guns that were defined as assault weapons. That's new. And anything in between is still not registered.
What do you mean by our guns have always been registered? I've never registered
handguns.
I've never handed in a slip or never registered any of mine. When I bought them, I bought most of mine through Hawkins Gun Center in Newington. I've never registered them.
It goes to the Department of Public Safety. They have a record.
When Hawkman sells you that gun, it's registered.
Okay,
It's
then
your gun.
how can you explain the many people that have
DT,
gone
I'm
through the
told
permit?
I'm sorry.
DPS3.
Then a lot of
DPS 3 form.
a lot of the people that I've spoken to online and in other words, they have said that their records have shown guns that they've never bought, guns they have sold years ago, and that's our own, the same organization that you're saying now my pistols are registered to. So how is that going to be when we go to get our pistol permits and you guys are behind the counter saying, well, how many guns do you have? And we're saying, well, I got 3. Well, no, we have 5 here on our list.
Now,
And
you're
you
talking
say I
about-
don't have that.
You're talking about a future law, because under our bill, under 1076 and one of these guys, you're limited on the amount of guns you buy per month, and you have to register each one of those guns.
Yeah.
Under our bill, you get a pistol permit, you can buy long guns, and there's nothing you have to do. And you register your assault weapons because they want to know where the ones they don't particularly care for are. So, get it. You want to add that?
You want to register your assault weapon, so if you get caught with it, you're legally in compliance. If you don't and you choose not to, then you're caught, now you're a felon. So it's for your protection as well as the state's knowledge.
I love that twist, though. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sir, Jim first, then you.
Pete Snyder from Clinton, Connecticut. I've got a question. When a person goes to buy a gun now, and you go for your background check, you either have a permit, you don't. You fill a piece of paper out. There's questions you answer. At the bottom, you attest to the fact that you told the truth. If you lied, it's a felony. Papers are all filled out at the dealer's. Dealer calls the state for an authorization. Authorization is denied. Does anything happen then? Because if I filled out all those papers you have my name, my address, my date of birth, and my signature, and I lied on a form under penalty of perjury, and you call for authorization, state police turn it down, you have all the elements you need for a warrant. Is it ever done?
Is it ever done? I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you, somebody lied on a carry permit. They found out, the police denied the carry permit. The Board of Firearms Examiners gave that person the permit because lying on the form was not one of the disqualifying crimes. So take that for what it's worth.
If we get back to the purchase of the firearms, and you did lie on the form, it is perjury, you have all the information. Don't you think it would have helped this bill a bit if, when you go tune it up a bit on the background checks, if somebody is denied on a check after they fill that paper out, that it's mandated the police do an investigation on that individual. Those are dangerous people. They're lying to buy a gun, and nothing's done that I know of.
We will bring that up, about the other fixes, the armored car and everything, we'll bring that up.
Because I think that would be most helpful.
That's a good point.
Try and get a bad guy once in a while. And thank you for your time.
We'll bring it up. Is there anybody else? Anybody else? Listen, on behalf of Dave and I want to thank Mike Cronin for being here. From Dave and I, we just want to thank you all for coming. I know a lot of people left. We appreciate the time you put into it, and we hear your voices. We understand. But thank you very much. And we hope that if you ever need anything, you call us. Yeah, Dave, you want to say
I'd
that?
just like to say thank you also for being patient this evening, and that's it. Enjoy the rest of it. Thank you.